The silence in the command center of Terra Station 1 was a physical weight, thick with the ozone smell of active holograms and the creeping chill of interstellar dread. Commander Elena Vasquez stood motionless, her knuckles white on the console as the last data packet from Horizon Prime played. This wasn't a distress call, it was a snuff film, transmitted by hidden drones that had recorded the final, methodical hours of a human colony. The images were horrifyingly crisp. Voran shock troops in their polished insectoid armor moving with cold efficiency, not through military installations, but through schoolyards, nursery domes, and community centers. 23,000 souls, 8,000 children. The official Voran communique, which arrived with smug punctuality, called it territorial dispute resolution. Every person in the command center knew it for what it was, a galactic execution designed to teach humanity its permanent, subservient place. For 2 centuries, Earth had played the part of the gracious newcomer. We discovered faster-than-light travel and entered a galactic arena ruled by ancient, brutal empires where strength was the only law, and we chose a different path. We joined the Galactic Assembly, accepted restrictive treaties, turned the other cheek to piracy, and replied to every insult with a diplomatic note. When the Vorans seized our ships, we protested. When they imprisoned our citizens, we negotiated. We built a persona of harmless philosophers and merchants, believing our restraint was a superior moral currency. The burning ruins of Horizon Prime were the final receipt for that payment, and it read, "Paid in full with human flesh." As President Diana Morgan faced her council, the grief had already been forged into something harder, sharper, and infinitely more dangerous. "They did not just kill our people," she said, her voice resonating in the tomb-like silence. "They burned the very idea of peace we offered them. Activate Protocol 7. The order went out. All humans come home." The solar system was now a fortress. The gates were closing, and the galaxy, laughing at what it thought was a retreat, was about to find itself locked outside with the monsters it had created. As the galactic community chuckled at humanity's tantrum, a different kind of signal was propagating through the bedrock of Earth, along buried quantum networks known only as the silent chorus. In the hollowed-out heart of Olympus Mons, within fortified crystalline caverns under the Pacific, and in zero-gravity forges hidden in the asteroid belt, the lights came on. This was Project Ithaca, not a mere military mobilization, but the awakening of a slumbering giant. For generations, humanity's brightest minds had pursued a dual path: public science for peace, and a hidden, parallel science for a question they hoped never to answer. What if they force us to fight? The Vorans and their like saw our trading vessels, our unarmed survey ships, our humble orbital stations. They saw the visible tip of the iceberg and deemed the entire structure small and fragile. They never sensed the immense dark mass beneath, a technological iceberg forged from reverse-engineered alien tech, borrowed principles from a dozen sciences, and a human genius for ruthless application. While the galaxy sold us energy shields, we learned to collapse them into singularities. While they traded inertial dampeners, we learned to invert inertia, turning a ship's own mass against it. Our peaceful quantum entanglement communicators became the backbone for weapons that could scramble causality in a localized area. Emperor Thaxter's Grand Armada, 500 warships gleaming with the arrogance of 3,000 years of conquest, began its journey to Earth. They expected to find a cowering species ready to be collared. They were instead flying into the focused gaze of a species that had just removed its blindfold. Admiral Sarah Kim, on the bridge of the TDS Retribution, watched their approach on a tactical plot. Her order was not a call to battle stations, but a calm directive. Initiate reality anchor protocols. Prepare the conditional physics fields. Let's show them what territorial dispute resolution truly looks like. The Voran Grand Armada materialized at the heliopause with a flash of distorted starlight, forming the dreaded Crown of Thorns battle array that had spelled doom for countless worlds. Admiral Crix hailed the primitive human defenders, offering the familiar choice: slavery or extinction. From the seemingly ordinary retribution, Admiral Kim's reply was a serene countdown from 60. The Voran bridge crews laughed, a sound of clicking mandibles and scorn. At 0, space twisted. This was not warfare as the galaxy understood it. There were no missile barrages, no piercing beams of plasma. This was applied ontology. Around Voran ship Alpha 1, gravity increased by a factor of 10,000 in a nanosecond, compressing a 2-kilometer dreadnought into a perfect marble-sized sphere of degenerate matter. Around Battle Group Sigma, time itself accelerated. Crews aged to dust, hulls rusted into cosmic powder, all within 3 heartbeats of normal space-time. Other vessels simply winked out of existence, their quantum wave functions forcibly collapsed. The human ships acted not as combatants, but as editors, using space-time itself as their manuscript and deleting entire paragraphs of the Voran fleet. In 15 silent, horrifying minutes, the Crown of Thorns was unwoven. The invincible armada was reduced to astrophysical curiosities and drifting atoms. Only the flagship Dominator remained, held in a stasis field of pure mathematical certainty. Admiral Kim's face appeared on Crix's view screen, her expression one of profound, weary resolve. "You are a message now," she stated, no trace of gloating in her voice. "Return to your Emperor. Tell him this. Humanity spent centuries building cages for our own darkest potentials. Your atrocity at Horizon Prime did not break down the door to those cages. It handed us the key. The next time one of your kind harms one of ours, we will not destroy your fleet. We will unmake the very concept of Voran from this universe's history. Go, be our herald." The Dominator, its crew broken in spirit, limped into the void, carrying not news of a defeat, but an obituary for an era. The shockwave that rippled through the galactic community was not one of energy, but a fundamental paradigm collapse. The Voran Empire, a millennial pillar of terror, imploded within days, not from a single external shot, but from the sheer gravitational pull of its own sudden impotence. Subjugated worlds revolted, rival empires carved out its territory. Emperor Thaxtor was deposed by his own Praetorian Guard, his title the Merciless, now a cosmic joke. But humanity was not done. We had demonstrated the stick. Now we articulated the new law of the cosmos. President Morgan's broadcast was not transmitted. It manifested simultaneously on every screen, in every language, across known space, a display of communication supremacy that was itself a declaration of power. "The experiment in unilateral pacifism is concluded," she announced, her gaze steady. "Henceforth, these are the inviolable principles by which this galaxy will coexist with humanity." The articles were stark. Harm a human, lose your military capability forever. Steal from us, watch your economic foundations dissolve. Threaten our space, be permanently confined to your home star. This was not conquest, it was the imposition of a cosmic social contract with humanity as its sole guarantor. The reaction was a frantic universal recalibration. Warlike species mothballed their fleets. Cunning traders returned lost goods. Ancient, aloof civilizations sent emissaries for the first time in ages. The galaxy had finally seen the true face of humanity, not the smiling trader, but the calm archivist who could, with a single footnote, erase your entire history. They had mistaken our library for a lounge. Now they understood it contained the blueprints for their annihilation. A standard year later, the memorial at the Horizon Prime Lagrange point was completed. It was not a triumphal arch, but a silent, rotating torus of black stellarium crystal, engraved with the names of the dead. It became a pilgrimage site, not just for humans, but for dozens of species who came in quiet, awed groups. They came to see the epicenter of the change, to touch the names and understand the cost. The inscription, etched in perpetual photonic light, was translated for all. Here sleep 23,000 dreams, extinguished to test a theory of weakness. Here also lies the theory of weakness, itself disproven and interred. We forgive nothing. We forget nothing. The mercy you knew is spent. Humanity, stewards of the lesson. Human patrols now glide through the nebular highways, their presence a quiet, immovable guarantee of the peace they enforce. Our research shares freely with those who honor life. Our colonies bloom on worlds once deemed too dangerous. The galaxy lives under a new sun, not the warm, gentle sun of human benevolence they once ignored, but the brilliant, unforgiving light of human justice. They had pushed the patient, kind-hearted gardener to the edge of his land, only to watch him lay down his trowel and reveal he was also the master of lightning and earthquake. The massacre at Horizon Prime was not our end. It was our unburdening. The age of hoping for decency was past. We had entered the long, vigilant age of ensuring it, forever standing guard between the darkness and the light, a permanent, unwavering answer to the universe's oldest, cruelest question.